Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just like to comment, Mr. Speaker, on the bill as a whole. Driving around my district on Saturday mornings, whether it's at the local Mobile, which has fantastic breakfast sandwiches, Mr. Speaker, if you're ever in the Brookfield area, or going to the gym locally, I hear it from every single person that stops and speaks with me, and they say, Steve, what is going on up there? When are you guys going to finally wise up and create a budget that's good for the state of Connecticut and for the taxpayers of the state of Connecticut? And I hear it over and over and over again. And what I see here is we have an opportunity to finally create a budget which makes structural changes, that we can come into this chamber and honestly give an honest budget to the people of this state, the people back home in my district, and we're not doing it. There are no structural changes in this budget. There is no changes to the way we do business here in the state of Connecticut. And until we start doing that, we're going to end up in the same exact place. We're going to end up in the chamber every single 6 months voting on a deficit mitigation package. And it's not something that I'm willing to accept, and I don't think it's anything that anyone back home in my district is willing to accept. And frankly, if I supported this budget, I would be doing the people back home a disservice. And I just also want to address some of the cuts that we made here in this budget. ECS is one, and many of my colleagues have addressed this, and probably far more eloquently than I'm going to, but the best part of my job is getting to see those young boys and girls and the students come up from Stadley Ruff in Danbury, or Huckleberry Hill in Brookfield, or Johnson School in Bethel, and get to see their bright faces and the bright futures that they have. And it boggles my mind that we as a legislature are putting together a budget that cuts funding from them, but yet we have spending in a budget where we're creating, fully funding a busway, we're giving money to build a stadium in Hartford, we're putting money in the Citizens Election Fund where we're buying bumper stickers for campaigns and negative mailers, and we're not giving money to the students. It doesn't make any sense to me. And what's even more heart-wrenching is I just got an email a few hours ago. And one of my best friends growing up, James, who I went to kindergarten with in Brookfield, is deployed as a Navy corpsman overseas. And I got a heart-wrenching email from his spouse who told me that her spousal support group is being cut because of this budget. Her husband is in Jordan, thousands of miles away, fighting for our country, and there's a support group being cut. And she's asking me to support funding for that. I think we have to really look at ourselves here and decide what our priorities are. Because I know mine is to fund that and to fund the education in my district. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.